everybody, welcome back. When they go down,
you go petty.
Just a quick reminder that Stay Petty merch is only available until October 5th, so if you haven't picked up your merch, I suggest you do that.
So about 6 or 7 years ago now, I was dating somebody who I should not have been dating. We're talking about mentally and emotionally manipulative, socially manipulative. And so finally we were breaking up. We were breaking up for good. Like, it wasn't one of those on again, off again anymore. It was done. And I was at his house because while I was there hanging out and he was at work, I had found out he was cheating on me. Long, complicated story, but I'd found out when he wasn't there. So I immediately knew that I had to get my revenge right then while he was gone, and he would have to find out when he got home, and when he got home and I wasn't there, and he would reach out to me to find out where I went, I could lay down the law. So this guy worshipped his YouTube. He worshipped it. He would play it on his big, gigantic flat screen all day long, and he had curated his algorithm so perfectly that it would never, ever play anything that he didn't want to see. It would play vlogs and fitness videos and Joe Rogan and all of the things that he wanted to listen to all day long. He constantly bragged about how perfect he had gotten this feed to be, and how he never even had to change or skip a video at all because all it ever played was exactly how he wanted, because he was so dedicated to making this algorithm perfect. So I went onto his YouTube and I unsubscribed him from every channel that I knew was his favorite. Oh. Not only did I unsubscribe him from channels that I knew were his favorite, but then I went and I resubscribed him to mommy vlogs and makeup videos and unboxing stuff for beauty delivery boxes. I went ham. I unsubscribed him from channels that I knew he had followed for years. Unsub. Then I went onto his Netflix account, and this was back when you could rate with a star as opposed to a thumbs up, thumbs down. I went onto his Netflix account and I 1-star rated all of the movies that I knew he really, really loved. And I 4-star rated all the movies that I'd been with him and he'd watched and he'd hated. Oh. And I wrecked those algorithms. I wrecked them. The best part, though, was a couple of weeks later when I went by to pick something up. It was one of his I found a hair of yours. Do you want to come get it? Attempts to get me to come back over. And from outside of the door, I could hear him going, what the is going on? Oh my God. And I heard him throw his remote. He could not figure out what was going on with his YouTube and why it kept showing him all these mommy and family blogs. He was so irate. He could hardly even speak, but it didn't even occur to him, not one time, that I had anything to do with that. And to this day, I don't think he knows. And to this day, I doubt he's gotten his algorithms back to where they were before. So, enjoy.
Wow, that is diabolical! You're not just being petty, you're screwing with the algorithms! That is a next level torment. Oh, you don't want to see mommy vlogs? Don't cheat. Just infecting his life, eh? My ex broke up with me about a month before the finale of his favorite Netflix show hit. He organized a viewing party ready for midnight when it dropped. I let him sign in on my account until 11:59 on that day when I changed the password and forced logout on all devices. Hey, that's not your fault. He should have his own Netflix account. This is the deal. You break up, you no longer get the privileges of when you were in a relationship. That includes Netflix passwords. So I lost an 8th grade presidential election 5 years ago, and my friend just found the guy who beat me on Tinder.
UD 22 computer science linguistics. Still proud of the time I became class president just to beat someone I found mildly annoying. Get wrecked, Megan.
That's just being petty for no reason, all right? Let's reserve pettiness for the people who have wronged us. Because if we're just going around being petty for no reason to people that we just find mildly annoying, I'm screwed.
So my father cheated on my mother, and got his pregnant. Well, I decided to wait until it was time for him to do his sermon about loyalty in the household. And while he was in the pulpit, I went over to my buddy who was in charge of the PowerPoint, and I was like, here you go, here's the new file for the PowerPoint. And he didn't think anything of it because, of course, that's my dad preaching about loyalty. And then all you see are pictures of him cheating on my mother on the PowerPoint in front of the entire church. Good times. Good times.
So for those of you who cheat or have cheated, haven't been caught cheating yet, there are consequences. Sometimes consequences that you could never fathom.
My mom did this to my dad. So basically my mom found out about some they ended up separating. But during this time, like, my dad hadn't moved out of the house yet. So he was sleeping in a different bedroom on the other side of our house on the first floor. So every morning my mom would set an alarm for 3 or 4 a.m., wake up, walk downstairs, and then when she got towards like his side of the house, she would army crawl into his bedroom. And she would cut like a button off of his shirt or like a little tear somewhere in the outfit that he had laid out for the following day. And this like with him, because he takes a lot of pride in like his appearance and how he looks and everything. And this petty man, I'm so happy she's my mom.
Wow, petty parents. Petty parents that are on another level. Coming up soon on Charlotte Dobre's YouTube channel. I love that it's like a grown-ass woman. Hey, I'm a grown-ass woman too, but like I'm also like a little bit immature still. You would think that your mom would have developed some maturity by the age, 40, 50, 60. Nope, there is no such thing as maturity when you're petty. Ice cream in freezer, help yourself, except Rich. Rich, none for you. I feel like Rich has helped himself a little too often, you know what I'm saying? Not Debbie's, not Debbie's, not Debbie's, not Debbie's. The orange juice? That could be Debbie's. I feel like Debbie is a little bit of a lunch stealer, isn't she? That's just the worst feeling, You're working a corporate job. There's a corporate fridge there, communal fridge. The only thing you look forward to all day is your damn lunch. And then someone steals it! Fuck you, Debbie!
So my ex broke up with me the night before we were supposed to leave for Florida for one of his high school friends' weddings. Now, that being said, that means that he broke up with me less than 24 hours before he left for a long weekend, which was a mistake. All of my friends and family very much wanted to destroy things that he owned. I did not feel like that was the correct course of action. However, I did decide to pack up everything he owned into 31 small-size boxes from Home Depot. That, and I mixed up everything in those boxes. Kitchen was in with office, with clothes. I split up every pair of socks and every pair of shoes he owned and put them in separate boxes.
Evil.
I also labeled nothing. I then packed them all in front of the apartment and said, you can come pick up your boxes when you're ready. Don't leave after breaking up with someone. It's cowardly and you deserve what you got.
Oh, wow. Yeah, yeah. Plus, realistically, what do you expect her to do? The fact that she's even putting them in boxes for you is a nice thing to do. She's doing you a favor. Organizing? You lost your organization privileges. You have retained up your life privileges.
So I found out my husband was having an affair for 6 months. She was 19. And a lot of other weird Snapchat accounts, being on steroids, lots of other women. The list goes on. His hotels and his second phone were all booked under the name Daniel, which was obviously not his name. Daniel became his alter ego, if you will. So much so that he even told his 19-year-old girlfriend his name was Daniel. She didn't even learn his real name until she went on vacation with him and her family months later. When he passed out, very drunk, on a boat. This shit is not even. And when she found his ID in his wallet, it was understandably shocking to learn that her boyfriend's name was in fact not Daniel, but I digress. Obviously, I filed for divorce and left it.
Yes,
and
queen.
yes, the legal fees in my divorce financially devastated me, but whatever, I was f***ing free. Sold my engagement ring and took a solo life-changing trip to Europe. And ended up writing a little book about it all. That book has now been read by hundreds and thousands of women around the world, helping them take their power back and heal. And my ex-husband, I named his character Daniel.
Yes! So, on that note, yeah, the pilot I wrote, it's a little bit of a petty revenge on the guys that were so terrible to me when I was on dating apps. Hey, Don't be terrible if you don't want to be written about in a pilot. I changed their names, obviously. That's the danger of being a shit person nowadays. If you're a crappy person, you not only have to worry about the initial consequences, but also the consequences of the person you were crappy to sharing that story on social media, books, and movies.
A petty legacy is what we're going for.
So I was dating this guy when I was 18, and he was, first of all, he lied about his age, but he was 34. And he talked me into moving out of my parents' house and moving in with him, yada, yada, yada. He was cheating on me the whole time, didn't know because I was dumb. Anyways, after he put me all through that torture, and I moved all of my belongings into his house, about 2 months later, he kicked me out to let his other move in. So I got drunk with my cousin, broke into his house, and peed on his toothbrush.
Oh.
And then we hooked up one time after that, and I was at his house, and I saw him brushing his teeth with the toothbrush I peed on.
Ew.
Ew!
Ew! All I can picture is you peeing on a toothbrush right now.
So I was dating this guy who broke up with me after like 2 months, and he was obsessed with taking baths in his jetted tub. So when I gave him a box of his stuff back, I also threw in a bath bomb that was full of glitter, and I took the label off so he couldn't read it. And he wasn't really happy, and he was texting me how upset he was to go to work covered in glitter, and I just responded to all of his text messages with pictures of Edward from Twilight. And then I covered his entire gravel driveway in a big thing of glitter so that every time he walks in his house, he tracked glitter in. And then I also put his phone number in to the eHealth website for health insurance quotes, and he probably got 200 phone calls. And I also decorated his house with happy birthday banners because he forgot to call me on my birthday. And now we're married and having a baby.
Whoa! The plot twist of the century! Hey, at least you had a sense of humor about it. And now every time he sees that glitter, he will think of you. But also, now you're, I'm assuming, living in the house that you have stained with glitter.
I made it my mission in life to destroy his mental well-being and his self-esteem over the course of maybe 3 or 4 months. I spent my life trying to make myself into somebody else in the form of probably 20 to 30, maybe even 40 fake profiles on all these different websites that he was on, using different pictures that were publicly available on the internet, and proceeded to make different personalities for each of them. Yes, it was obsessive. Yes, it was sick, and I spent entirely way too much time in my life doing this, but at the time it felt good to make this man feel bad. And I sent him on many ghost dates. And on these dates, these women would supposedly show up, see his face, and suddenly change their mind. And he kept falling for this over and over and over and over. I don't know why. He just kept going. So I upped the ante every time. And it got to the point where I got him to get a hotel room. And I made sure he was there. I had a friend follow him and double check. He went in, checked in, came out and waited in the car, and she never showed. I don't understand this man. I don't understand why he didn't catch on. But this went on for months. And after a while, I got kind of bored, and I just kind of, all these women just fell off the face of the planet. He ended up having to go to counseling, and may or may not have been prescribed antidepressants.
Okay, no, that...
My bad.
Yeah, you're bad, okay? All right. You know, we're supposed to be funny about this stuff, okay? You're supposed to have a sense of humor about it. You had me until the counseling. Let's not take it this far. That is a very sour and bitter lemon, okay? Let's not be meanies. But you can be petty without being mean. Right? Subscribe!